Hi guys, happy Wellness Week. I'm Stephanie Carlile and I am a dietitian at Herren Wellness. Today I will be talking very briefly about dopamine, and then I'll walk you through an edamame avocado hummus recipe, which will boost our dopamine. And it's also full of vitamins and minerals, fiber, healthy fats, and it's a great source of plant-based protein. So dopamine is one of the brain's chemical messengers that produces feelings of pleasure or happiness. So it's known as the feel-good hormone. And it's released when the reward system is activated. So during addiction, our brains start to become dependent on drugs and alcohol to stimulate surges of dopamine. And we actually will produce less dopamine naturally. So in early sobriety and recovery, dopamine levels can plummet at first, thus making recovery a really difficult process because we can actually feel increased anxiety, increased stress, depression, irritability, and even social isolation. So it's really important to recognize the role of dopamine and its relation to relapse risk. So natural dopamine can be restored with time, and there are some activities that have shown to improve production and also help with controlled cravings as well as boosted mood. So I've listed some of those here on the screen. Hopefully you can see that. So they include things like getting sun exposure, adequate sleep, regular exercise, meditation, and then we can also increase dopamine levels by eating tyrosine-rich foods. So tyrosine is a non-essential amino acid, which is a basic building block of protein, and it plays a critical role in the development of dopamine. So just as caffeine makes us more alert, or omega-3 fatty acids in salmon help us to concentrate and study a little bit better, tyrosine-rich foods can make us feel happy. So let's get into the recipe. It's very fast. It's super fresh. It's really pretty too. All right, so I've got my blender here. You can use a food processor also. And what I'm gonna do, I've got about 1.5 cups of edamame, and these are thawed out if you buy any frozen ones. So I'm gonna pour this into here. And then I've got a whole avocado. This is pretty ripe. So I'll pour that in there as well. 2 cloves of garlic. I've got about like a tablespoon of toasted sesame seeds, and I'm gonna pour almost this entire thing in there except for maybe like a teaspoon or so. So avocados, edamame, and the sesame seeds are all they're high in tyrosine. And then I've got about 1 large lemon's worth of juice and zest. So I'll just pour that in there as well. Move this over so you can see a little bit better. And then I've got about 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. And then I added just like a pinch of crushed red. I like things a little bit spicy, so you can put more or less depending on what level of spice you can tolerate. So I'm gonna dump all of that into there. And then I've got about 3 tablespoons worth of cilantro and basil finely chopped. I'm gonna put about 1/2 or a little bit more inside of there. And that's it. And then I've got just a little bit of water on hand in case I'm blending this and it's not blending well. I can drizzle a little bit in there and it'll loosen everything up. So I'm gonna close this. And then the last ingredient, I have about 3 tablespoons worth of olive oil. And olive oil is a heart-healthy fat. So I'm just gonna blend this on about medium for a few seconds. And I'm gonna do that again, but I'm gonna slowly drizzle in the olive oil this time. And then if you see me add any water, that's just because I'm just trying to loosen it all so it blends well together. And that looks pretty good. I also have a spatula on hand. A rubber spatula is best if you have one. And I'm just gonna scrape down the sides of this bowl, get everything to the bottom, and then I'm just gonna blend one more time. And if it's still a little bit chunky and not totally smooth, that's okay. And then what our end product will look like is this right here. So I just used the rest of those toasted sesame seeds and then the rest of the basil and cilantro and used it as garnish. And I served it with whole wheat crackers and some yellow and red peppers as well. So again, it's a super fresh, really fast and simple recipe. You can use it on sandwiches. It's super good. You'll like it, I promise. And then the last thing, if you want to look more into tyrosine-rich foods, you can visit myfooddata.com, and it lists hundreds of sources of tyrosine-rich foods. So there you have it. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.